Welcome to the first episode in a little mini-series that I'll be doing in No Limits 2, where I basically just build a coaster from scratch and then talk about what I'm doing. Hopefully you can pick up something from creating things in this game. In this first episode I'll just be doing the layout for this Gravity Group wooden coaster, and after that I'll do the supports and then the scenery. So the first thing I'm going to do is this little turnaround before the lift hill, and it's going to be quite a tight turnaround because these Gravity Group timber liners can do really tight turns unlike other roller coaster trains. This lift hill is quite small and it's not going to be the biggest coaster in the world, but I feel it's going to be quite intense because of the speeds. It's not really going to slow down much. I think the pacing was quite good in the end. So yeah, there'll be lots of air time as in any coaster, and these quite highly banked turns get in these Gravity Group coasters a lot. So at the top I've got another really tight turn, as you see in quite a few of these, and that's going to go straight into this quite steep kind of twisting bank turn. It's going to go right back next to the lift hill and then over the station. And then I'm going to go into another airtime hill. At the moment I'm just trying to mess about with the roll points. Now, a little tip in this game with the roll points is that you don't want to overdo them, because if you put too many in, then your track will just be banking from side to side really fast and it just won't really be too smooth. So you want to have just as many roll points as you need. So this is the lift hill just finished, and just depumping everything so it's all nice and smooth. It's going to go into this really quite fast airtime hill, and I'm just checking to make sure it's straight, and it's going to do this airtime hill and then do an interesting turnaround at the end and come back on itself. So yeah, this is me starting on the turnaround, so it's going to kind of come up to get a bit of airtime and then turn around and come back up again before it goes back down again. And you can see this little technique that I'm using. I do this for all of my kind of turns that change. So I do the kind of rough layout of the turn from above and then go into the perspective view and then change the heights of everything so it's exactly what I want. What you just saw me doing there was quickly adding in some supports. Because this track is going to go right next to the other track, kind of run parallel to it like many wooden coasters, I was just making sure that the supports weren't going to be too close to each other or too far away, just so they were just right. Now I'm kind of messing about with this little double up that I wanted here, and it gave me a bit of trouble, but I got there in the end. As well, do that so much. You're lucky it's sped up, because if it wasn't, it'd be here for ages. And then this turnaround gave me a lot of issues because I was just going around too fast. You can always see if the coaster's going too fast without actually bringing up the speed visualization, and that's if you put a roll point on the turn, and if it's just too steep like this one was that I just put here, you know that your car's just going far too fast. So that's why I moved everything up, just to kind of slow the car down a little bit, because I don't want it to go around that corner too fast, otherwise the banking would just be too much. So it's pretty steep still, but I think I much prefer it this way. So it's going to go right back over the station again. That's going to be some playing about with supports later on, but I think we'll get there. Right, so this next bit I'm just gonna come back down past the lift, past the first drop, and do another quick airtime hill and then a really small overbank turn, which you'll see me do in a minute. And this is kind of like, well, it's taken from inspiration from the coaster Switchback, the Gravity Group coaster, and it's like this really small, tight turn. I think that one goes through a building. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the scenery with this yet, but I don't know, I might do something similar. So yeah, I just, again, went from the top and then changed the elevation here to make it really kind of low to the ground over bank turn, but it does go over 90 degrees. This is a final little airtime hill here, and I'm just looking at the top here, and if you go to the top view and select points, then I click the make straight from the top, which means it doesn't mess about with the elevations from the side. So that means you can make sure your track's definitely straight, and you don't need to worry about if it's messing things up. And then I put the helix to the other side of the first, but then I thought, it was kind of taking up the space back there that I didn't really want to go into. Just getting a bit too spread out, wanted to keep it more compact, so made the helix go in the opposite direction. And then it's just going to go straight into the brake run here. So, little short layout, but never really loses speed, and I'm just going to fix these points on the helix, quite a forceful helix in the end. And that's pretty much going to do it for the layout of this coaster. I'm just going to add in the brake run here. So the next episode you'll see me do the supports, and I'm just going to leave you with a quick POV of the coaster so far.